Yeah, thank you. Yes, ABC Academy presents A Merry Christmas, adapted from Louisa May Alcott's Little Women by Walter Hackett. Tonight's show is being presented, of course, by the Altman Baptist Church Academy. Tonight's stars are, of course, me, the narrator, Beth, and women. Also starring is Peter Flory, starring as Amy and Boy. Also starring is Katie Flory, starring as Joe and Mrs. March. Mrs. Flory being played by Meg and Hannah. And Stephen Flory playing as Mr. Kimball and Mr. Lawrence. So let us get started. This is a Christmas story from a book that all the world knows and loves. It's about the lives of 4 young girls, and the name of it is Little Women. Our story begins on the day before Christmas in the year of 1862. A heavy snowfall quietly, oh boy, the little home of Concord, Massachusetts, with an extra layer of whiteness. Set back for the road to Lexington stands the March House family. In the comfortable old parlor are 4 young ladies. Sprawled on the floor, looking into the fireplace, is tomboy Joe.
Oh, Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents.
Meg, the eldest and prettiest, looks at her old dress.
Oh, it's so dreadful to be poor.
and Amy, the youngest, up from her knitting.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have plenty of pretty things and other girls nothing at all.
To this Beth, the quiet one, adds her comment.
Never mind. We have father and mother and each other.
The open fireplace crackles brightly in the hallway. The old clock laboriously ticks away 2 minutes. Finally, Meg speaks.
The reason Mother suggests no presents this Christmas was because it's going to be a hard winter for everyone. She thinks we shouldn't spend money for pleasure when our men are suffering so in the army.
We each have $1, and the army wouldn't be much helped by our giving that. I don't expect any presents, but there is a book I'd like so much. What would you like to spend on yours, Beth?
Some new music.
I would like a nice box of drawing pencils.
Mother didn't say anything about our money, and I'm sure she doesn't wish us to give up everything.
What do you mean, Joe?
I say we should each buy what we want and have a little fun. I'm sure we all work hard enough to earn it.
I know I do. Teaching those tiresome children nearly all day.
You shouldn't complain, Meg. How would you like to be shut up for hours, reading to and waiting on a fussy old lady?
I hate washing dishes and housework. It makes me cross.
Suppose you had to go to school with impertinent girls who laugh at your dresses and label your father if he isn't rich.
Terrible.
If you mean libels, just say so. I don't talk about labels as if Papa was a pickle bottle.
Don't peck at one another. We have enough worries.
Christopher Columbus, we're only making fun of ourselves.
Joe, don't use such slang expressions. It's not ladylike.
I hate to think that I have to grow up to be Miss March and wear long gowns and a prim expression. If I were a boy, I'd be in the army with Papa. Instead, I have to stay home and knit like a poky old woman.
Joe, you're too wild. And, Amy, you're too prim.
And what am I, Meg? Wait.
You're a dear, Beth. Enough talk now. Mother will be home in an hour. Amy, get your slippers. Joe, you light the lamp.
Marmy's slippers are quite warm. She should have a new pair.
Why don't I get her pair with my $1?
No, you shan't, Beth. I'm going to buy them.
I'm the man of the family now that Papa's away, and I shall provide the slippers.
And I shall give her. Oh dear, what will I give her?
Why don't we each give her something she needs most? We'll put the gifts on the table and bring her in to see them tomorrow morning.
We've forgotten one thing.
What's that, Meg?
Tomorrow is Christmas, and we haven't bought a thing.
But we've just made up our minds to buy presents for Marmee.
Oh, and it's... It's too late.
Indeed it's not. I have the solution. We'll put on our wraps, hurry to Mr. Kimball's store, buy our gifts, and hurry home before Mommy arrives. On your feet, everyone. Off we'll fly.
Oh, the girls were quickly into their coats and out of the house, reaching Mr. Kimball's store just as he was closing for the day.
Well, 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 what a surprise. The March girls. You just caught me in time. I was just locking up.
You can't until we've bought our gifts, Mr. Kimball.
We're in dreadful hurry.
I want to buy a pair of slippers for my mother.
And I want to get her 2 linen handkerchiefs.
I'd like a bottle of calling. Me.
Cologne?
Especially elegant bottle.
And have you a warm pair of gloves, Mr. Kimball?
What if I told you...
Why aren't you laughing?
What if I... What if I told... Okay. What if I told you I don't have these articles?
Then we'd take our trade elsewhere.
I can't allow that to happen. Not in my store. Step right this way, young ladies.
The girls quickly made their purchases and were home before their mother returned. As the clock struck 7, the March family was just finishing their dinner.
Will you and the girls be wanting anything else, Mrs. March?
Thank you, no, Hannah. We've eaten all we should.
Besides, I'm sure there's nothing else left to eat.
Here, here, enough of that. Hannah, as a man of the house, I give you permission to clear the table.
I won't be needing any permission for that, Miss Joe. It's a duty I have staring in my face every night.
If you girls will follow me into the parlor, I have a surprise for you.
What is it, Remy?
Is it something we'll like?
Don't spoil it by asking questions.
Marmee, you sit here by the fire.
Ah, thank you. Now where were we?
Don't tease us.
Here's your surprise. A letter? From your father. Hooray!
Nothing wrong, I hope.
He's quite well.
What does he say?
I'll read you part that he wrote especially for you girls. As for my dear girls, give them all my love and a kiss. Tell them that I think of them day by day and pray for them by night, and find my best comfort in their affection at all times. A year seems very long to wait before I can see them, but remind them that while we wait we may all work, so that these hard days need not be wasted. I know they will remember all I said to them, and I know they will conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them I may be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women.
I am a selfish girl, but I'll try to be better.
We all will. I'm vain of my looks and hate to work hard, but won't any more, if I can help it.
I'm sure you mean that, Meg.
Poor Papa, spending Christmas all alone in an army camp.
Never mind. Next Christmas he'll be here with us by the fire. Do you remember how you used to play Pilgrim's Progress when you were little girls?
Indeed we do.
You used to tie bags on our backs for burdens, and give us hats and sticks of rolls of paper. You'd travel through the house from the cellar.
The cellar was the city of destruction.
And up you'd go to the housetop, to what you said was the celestial city. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, what fun it was, especially passing through the valley where the hobgoblins were.
I don't remember much about it, except that I was afraid of the cellar and the dark entry.
If I weren't too old for such things, I'd rather like to play it all over again.
We're never too old for this, Meg, because it's a game we are playing all the time in one way or another. The longing for goodness and happiness is the guide that leads us through many troubles and mistakes to the peace which is a true celestial city. You mean it's life itself? Yes, Joe. So suppose you see how far you can go before your father comes home.
Where are our bundles?
Each of you has her burden, except maybe Beth.
I have my burden to carry. Mine is dishes and dusters and envying girls with nice pianos and being afraid of people.
What a particular burden to carry.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's only another name for trying to be good.
We were in the Slough of Despair tonight, as it says in the book, and Mother came and pulled us out.
But like the pilgrims in the book, we'll need our roll of directions.
Perhaps on Christmas morning you'll find your guidebooks. Now, don't ask any questions. It's going to be a quiet Christmas for us, what with no stockings hung from the mantel and no presents.
Perhaps it won't be so quiet after all.
Why, what do you mean, Amy? Oh, nothing at all, Marmee. Hannah says that the four of you went out just before I came home. I hope you haven't been getting into any mischief.
Oh, no, Marmee. It was to perform an errand we'd almost forgotten.
It may be a none too bright Christmas Eve for us, but at least we're warm and quite happy. Happy enough to sing. Beth, do you feel like playing?
I'll sing soprano.
No, you sing the alto part.
And so they all joined in singing of Christmas carols until it was time to go to bed. The Christmas Eve slumber was filled with pleasant dreams and anticipations of the happiness and joy of Christmas.
Oh, sleepy. Still gray out. Why, it's Christmas morning! Meg, wake up!
Leave me alone.
Merry Christmas, you sleepyhead!
Oh, Merry Christmas, Joe. Look, what's under my pillow? A book.
And there's one under mine.
Mine's a Bible.
Huh, so's mine.
Look inside of yours. What does it say?
To Joe. Here's a true guidebook for any pilgrim traveling the long journey. Love, Marmee.
Mine says the same thing.
How original. Marmee gave us a present after all.
And she has so little money.
Merry Christmas!
A very Merry Christmas. All four ad lib.
Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas!
Did you two get Bibles? Beth and I did.
Yes, we did.
Let's slip downstairs and see if Marmee is there. I'm anxious to see her face when she discovers what we've done.
Meanwhile, downstairs, Mrs. March and Hannah are looking out at the new fallen snow.
This is a fine, bright day, Hannah. A real Christmas.
That it is, Mrs. March. Would you like to see what the girls gave me?
A box of sweets. How thoughtful of them.
Indeed it was. I'm so happy I could have myself a good cry, but I won't. Mrs. March, have you looked on the mantel?
No, Hannah.
Then do so at once.
As Mrs. March goes to look at the mantel, there's a knock at the door.
Now, who could that be on Christmas morning?
I'll get it.
Merry Christmas, ma'am!
Merry Christmas to you, little man.
It's one of the lads that lives on the edge of the pine grove.
My mother asked me to give you this note.
Thank you. Won't you come in?
No, Miss March. I have to go right back home. Bye.
Is it anything bad, Mrs. March?
Yes, it is. Poor things. Quickly, Hannah, is breakfast on?
I'm just about to cook it, Mrs. March.
Well, don't.
What's that, ma'am?
Get the big basket and load it with wood. Hurry, Hannah.
Just as you say, Mrs. March.
Just then, the girls come running downstairs.
Merry Christmas, Marmee!
Etc.
And the same to you, my dears.
Thank you for our Bibles.
It was a wonderful surprise.
I'll always keep mine.
Same with me. Ugh, I'm starved. Are we having muffins?
And buckwheats with maple syrup.
That depends on all of you. On us?
What do you mean, Marmee?
A note was just delivered to me. It's from the poor widow who lives down the road. The one with the 6 children.
Her husband was killed in the war, wasn't he?
The same one. They have no wood to burn and nothing to eat. Will you give them your breakfast as a Christmas present? Christopher Columbus, it won't hurt us to do without breakfast for once in our lives.
Of course we will.
We will go with you.
Aloysius, we can help you carry things.
I knew you wouldn't refuse. We'll make up for it at dinner time. After we come back, we'll have bread and milk for breakfast, and that'll tide us over.
They filled a basket with food and firewood for the widow and her family, and set out for their house.
This is the house, isn't it, Marmee?
Yes, Meg. Not a bit of smoke from the chimney, and it's so bitter cold out.
And to think, last night we were complaining. Mrs. March had to knock several times before the door was open, and the widow greeted her Christmas morning visitors.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas together.
We hurried as fast as possible. May we come in?
Do good angels ever need an invitation?
We certainly are peculiar-looking angels, dressed in hoods and mittens.
And welcome just the same. Mrs. March cooked a fine Christmas breakfast for the poor family, and the girls helped serve them. How thankful the widow and her children were. The March family returned home, tired but filled with spirit of Christmas.
Well, that could have been far worse breakfast. Bread and milk for breakfast is good enough for anyone.
Marmee,
Yes, Beth?
did you ever see such expressions as those poor children? And when you served them those buckwheats and syrup?
The poor dears. I doubt they were ever having such a fine breakfast.
How they are, those muffins?
It's just as well you didn't have any, Amy. You're getting too fat.
I am not.
Joe, I thought you were carrying a burden. Mommy. Amy, I apologize. I'm trying to think. It seems to me that just as that boy delivered me the note, Hannah asked me to do something. Now, what was it she said? Something about the mantle looking on the floor. No, on the
Ceiling?
Ah, I remember. She said for me to look on the mantle. Why, I don't know. Now, what is this? 4 packages? Don't stare at us. Santa Claus must have left them.
What could that be? Open them, Marmee.
Now, what have we here? A pair of gloves? Oh, soft. Such warm ones, too. Thank you, Meg.
I hope they fit.
I'll try them on. Oh, they fit perfectly. And what is this? 2 lovely linen handkerchiefs, which I need so badly. How thoughtful of you, Beth.
I hemmed them last night.
This one looks like a... Now, what can it be?
It's a bottle of real cognac.
Alone!
Amy, you spoiled Not really. Thank you, Amy. I wear some on Beth's handkerchiefs. And this the last one. Slippers. Aren't they wonderful, Joe? Try them on. They're a bit large, Joe. Jingo, I'll say they are. You can't wear them right over your shoes. I'll change them for you, Marmee. The sentiment is there just the same. I think I'm very lucky, Mother. I have my family around me. Yesterday I had a letter from your father. This morning we helped your neighbor, and ahead of us. Ahead of us is practically the whole day. For our Christmas dinner we have a pair of fine, plump chickens. And tonight... Meg, you announce the news to Mother.
Tonight will be the first performance of a new play.
In 4 acts.
Titled The Operatic Tragedy, written by Miss Josephine March.
Yeah. Thank you. Have you written another play, Joe? Ha. My greatest effort to date. I shall now do a part of a scene for you.
Oh no, you'll spoil it.
Go on, Joe. This occurs in the 2nd act.
The 3rd act.
No, the 2nd. I've changed it. The heroine, that's Amy, has been kidnapped by the villain. She screams, "Ah! go! Save me! Save me! Ah!
Who screamed? What's the matter?
Oh, you, sir, you are a knave!
Now, what's the matter, Miss Joe?
You are a knave! Stand or I shall shoot you! Ah, now I have you, you rogue! Now you shall perish!
I haven't done a thing wrong.
Ah, but you have! You are wicked, bad, ill-fated! I arrest you in the name of the law! Ah, 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 ah!
The excitement of Christmas Day has gone to your head, Miss Joe. I'm going back to my quiet kitchen.
Hannah backed hastily into the kitchen, and soon after there was a loud crash.
See what you've done now? You and your foolish theoretics. Ugh! Miss Joe, I've just crashed into the second best set of chinaware.
The kitchen mishap was soon forgotten, and the March family enjoyed a wonderful Christmas dinner together. After dinner, the girls performed Joe's play, much to the enjoyment of their mother and Hannah.
And so, my children, I give you my blessing. May your lives be happy from this point onward. I clasp your hands.
We owe our lives to you, Don Pedro.
And so the curtain falls, signifying the end of the play. Yay! A very fine performance, well written and well acted.
We are.
Hannah, indeed, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Hannah, indeed, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Someday, Joe, you'll be a famous writer. Now, Hannah, do you suppose these hungry performers could be rewarded? I should like something exotic.
No, let's have something to eat.
I'm ashamed to say so, but I'm hungry.
But we did have such a lovely dinner.
There must be some old chicken bones we can gnaw on.
All of a sudden, there was an incest rapping on the door. Insistent rapping on the door.
I'll answer it. Man.
Well, women, open the door wide enough so I can get in. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Lawrence. Merry Christmas.
Same to you. What about your girls? Haven't they enough tongues? Can't they wish me a Merry Christmas too? You women, what's your name?
Hannah, sir.
Well, take these bundles, put them on the table.
Aren't you making a mistake, Mr. Lawrence? We aren't expecting anything.
I suppose not, but here they are, Hannah. We're here told my cook about your breakfast party.
Breakfast party?
Don't deny it. I heard all about you, how you gave your breakfast away to the poor family down the road. I thought I should, do something to make it up and have it. And I have. Well, good night. Good night and Merry Christmas.
He's a regular Norwester, I'd say.
Marmee, what do you suppose is in those packages?
I don't know.
Mr. Lawrence has never before been in our house.
He's awfully proud, and he hardly ever speaks to anyone.
Well, we may as well open them. I suppose we may.
They excitedly opened many packages their surprise visitor had brought, and were delighted by the contacts. Ooh.
Ice cream!
Two kinds, pink and white.
Real French. Real Polish bonbon cake.
Fruit, so many kinds.
What is in this other longer package? Flowers! Christopher Columbus! And we thought old Mr. Lawrence was so proud. He's an odd gentleman, isn't he? I knew my father years ago.
He won't let his grandson mix with anyone.
From now on, we'll see that his grandson gets to know us, and old Mr. Lawrence, too, for that matter. It shows you can't judge people by their exteriors. Tomorrow we'll write a note of thanks. And all sign it.
Here, here!
I'll deliver it.
Well, we better start before the ice cream melts.
I just want pink.
I'll eat either kind.
Hannah, get some plates and spoons.
Right away, Mrs. March.
And Hannah,
Yes, ma'am.
bring a spoon and plate for yourself.
That I will. Thank you.
And get some vases for these flowers. Christopher Columbus, hasn't this been the best Christmas anyone could ask for? Well, hasn't it? The very best.
It was fitting end to a perfect Christmas day. Tired from their various holiday activities, the 4 happy girls went off to bed.
Well, I'll go and see if my girls are tucked in. Hannah, hasn't it been a busy day for you? Hasn't it?
Oh, a busy day for all of us, ma'am.
But a fine day, Hannah.
Just about the best day we could have wished for.
We helped our neighbor, and our neighbor helped us. Yes, the spirit of Christmas has lived here all day, and I hope it will for many years to come. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas!